We have Garfield is the next president that we'll be looking at. He passed away in 1881. He was shot 9/14 of 81. What are we looking at? Is this the eclipse chart?
This is the prior eclipse, 27th of May. So it was at 6 degrees of Gemini up in the 10th house. I've set it for his place of birth, and it was in the 8th house of the eclipse chart for that area, which is interesting. The south node, because it was a south node eclipse, was conjunct Mercury, and Mercury rules his ascendant, which is his health and vitality and everything to do with him, and also ruled his MC and the 10th house, so career and public reputation. So that was really interesting. It was very unfortunate for him. And then we had in the eclipse chart Uranus conjunct the MC.
And the south node is right there, taking something away again.
We've got Mars conjunct Pluto in his 8th house.
Yeah.
So that was the solar eclipse. There was a solar eclipse afterwards because he lingered until November or something, didn't he? When did he die? September.
Yeah.
So he died in September. This is a chart for when he died. We don't know what time he died, but we know that he died on the 19th of September. I've set it for his place of birth again. But yeah, Uranus on the Saturn.
Right on Saturn. The moon on the north node.
Yeah.
In the 12th house, which is never a good house to be in for the moon.
And then Mars on his MC, and Mars is violent. Yeah. The solar eclipse afterwards, this was November. You were talking about how solar eclipses can, well, any eclipse, I suppose, can kind of generate something beforehand. He died in September. He was shot in, when did we say he was shot? He was shot in July.
July 2nd.
It's shot on July 2nd. There was the solar eclipse in May. He died in September, and then the solar eclipse in November. Just interesting. It was at 29 degrees conjunct his natal Mercury. So Mercury brought in again. I wonder if that time, I should look it up, if maybe something was happening. Maybe it would be too late for a funeral, I imagine, by that stage, but maybe there was some sort of commemoration or something at that time. But yeah, just interesting because that Mercury rules his 10th house and the first house.
Yeah. The house that expresses who you are.
And that was in 1881. So this is the Aries Ingress chart for that year, for the year that, was it Garfield or McKinley? I always mix them up.
Garfield.
Garfield died. Yeah. So
right.
Late degree on that ascendant there. So, interesting. Change of president.
for an Aries Ingress, yeah. That's, you look at it every spring, right around when the sun enters Aries is how this chart is formulated. And at that point, the ascendant is right at a very late degree. So is the moon. Well, it's not that late, but it's, it's late enough.
Well, actually, it's interesting because it's that. Actually, it's opposite Algol. Algol's at 26 Taurus. I was thinking that one was, but there is another chart that had Algol.
Yeah, it's McKinley. I think that was the next one.
Yeah, interesting. MC as well is very close to changing signs. So there's your leader. The 10th house ruler is Jupiter because it's Sagittarius on the 10th, and here's Jupiter in the 2nd with Saturn. They're 3 degrees away, but still very close.
Yeah.
And Saturn's the greater malefic, and that Mercury opposed by Uranus.